Hello Leapers, heading off to Costa Rica on the 3rd of September. My name is Millie Whitehead. I know I've spoken to many of you over the last few months, helping you get booked on and organised with Zoe and Liv. And today I've just put this little video together just to help answer all those last minute questions. The phone's beginning to ring, so people are beginning to start thinking about packing and all the kind of last minute detail. So this video should help. So to start, let's just picture the scene, set the scene and go through your itinerary. You're all going to arrive on the 3rd of September in San Jose. I know everyone coming from America is coming on different flights. Don't worry, there's going to be a shuttle bus going between the airport and the Rosa of America, the little hotel that we always use, which is only 20 minutes from the airport. So don't worry, whenever you arrive, you go through customs and you come out through the big doors, which you will recognise, onto this little kind of paved area with everybody waiting, and look out for the sign saying The Leap. Possibly might also have your name, but who knows on the day. The Leap is the main thing to look for. So that is that. The Rose of America is very sweet. It is very local. So design-wise, it's very local. Food-wise, just brace yourself. You're going to be eating lots of pintos. But it's really nice and friendly, and the staff there know us really well. So it should be your home from home, should become your home from home in San Jose. You'll all kind of bed down that night, and especially coming from the UK, you're going to be up extremely early because you've got the 6 or 7 hour time difference. Always get muddled. I think it's 6 hours at the moment. 6 hours behind. So whatever you do, do not sleep on that aeroplane. Watch the movies. Gorge on movies. Don't sleep so that you can try and push through when you get there. You're going to be up very early, and then you'll start your multi-logistical tour to the camp in Santa Teresa. It takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get down to the ferry, another 2 hour ferry crossing, and then another hour and a half bus journey to get round to the coast to Santa Teresa and Chris's home. You are going to be based, let's just discuss Chris and his home. Chris is our partner we've worked with for about nearly 20 years now. He used to run all our ops in Venezuela, and then 15 years ago set up in Costa Rica. He's awesome, he's Scottish, he's a hippie, he's an eccentric, but we love him. And you will too. He bends over backwards for all the gappers. I mean, don't push him because he can suddenly flip his lid if he just feels everything's getting out of hand, but he's just awesome, and he's got a great team. And his whole family live on this camp, so it's a real family vibe. He lives with his gorgeous wife Ada, and they've got lots of children. I've actually lost count, but the little one is called Simon, who's gorgeous, who's about 10 or 11 now. And then there's kind of Brendan and his wife and loads of family members that live on site. Then there is a kind of main building, which is the main kitchen, dining room area. Then there's little bungalows scattered around the gardens, around a little pool. It's all very basic, but it's very stylish. It's very, very nice. The food there is utterly delicious. They go, Costa Ricans, they go for kind of fresh, delicious, kind of vegetarian style, expect loads of beans, but it is great. You can have sushi night, pizzas. You won't go hungry, that is for sure. In the camp, remember, you get 2 meals a day are included. The third meal, usually the evening meal, is not. Okay, so that we recommend everybody either, the cheaper option is to go to the supermarket, collectively buy some food, and you all cook it together and have fun. That's cheap. They often, as I said, do sushi night, pizza night, kind of reduced, at cost. You can buy in that, or you go into town. Now in town, Santa Teresa is uber cool. It's very, very chic. You've got George Clooney, for example, who has a house there. Therefore, you've got really expensive restaurants, cocktail bars charging $10 a cocktail. And down at the other end, you've got the more backpackery, local places, the bakery and such. You're going left, you're not going right, okay? It's opposite from the airplane. So that is just top tip. Set yourself a budget, and don't go crazy in those expensive restaurants. Okay, so that's your home. 6 weeks you're here. That is your main base, and from there you're going to, within that 6 week, have 2 weeks out. 1 week going up to Serenus, which is about a 45-minute drive further up the coast, which is the main turtle sanctuary, and the other trip will be up into the cloud forest to Monteverde, which is heaven. So the order of events, okay. First week, surfing in Spanish. The surfing, it is spectacular surfing in Santa Teresa and actually all the way up that Pacific coastline. Top 10 surf destinations in the world. So you're going to be shown how, taught how to surf, but if some of you are saying, I know how to surf, it's more than just surfing. The sea there, it's got riptides, it's got currents, so it's more of surfing and water safety course. So really concentrate. I clearly didn't get caught in a riptide and off I went. So listen up. And the Spanish, you've got Peggy and Erica, who are the main teachers. They're fantastic. We're not, promising that you're going to come back with, a degree in Spanish. It's purely to get used to the language so you can communicate with everybody, from the surf instructors who do talk English, but it's just good to learn a bit of the basic language. If you are already pretty proficient at Spanish, then Peggy will test you and broaden your vocab. If you want to talk politics, she can talk politics in Spanish, of course. Week 2 is going to be your first week of turtle conservation, also mixed in with the Spanish. This is going to be based on the beaches, Playa Carmen, which is just close to walking distance from the camp. That is got a kind of tertiary, the turtle hatchery. There's clean beaching, cleaning up of the beaches, night watching, and you are at the moment the turtle season is underway, so you are getting lots of mums coming up and laying their eggs, and your job right now will be to collect the eggs and move them into the hatchery, and you will learn all about the temperature gauging and whether it's fascinating, the life cycle of a turtle, so you will learn all about that. Week 3 you will then go up to Serenus. Week 4 for the main turtle conservation. And Serenus is a bit more now than just pure turtle conservation. They really pioneer everything to do with permaculture, self-sufficiency, providing food for the whole environment around, so look out for that. That was my son, ignore him. He's an idiot, he shouldn't be here in the office today. Honestly. Anyway, that's Serenus. Then week 4, you're back in the camp and you're going to do more Spanish clearly, and then the volunteering of the plastic oceans. This is when you're going to go to Cabana to see what we've all been describing all the bump about the life cycle of the turtles and the beaches and the plastic and what we do with it, and picking it up and taking it to the recycling centre. It goes to America, comes back, it's converted into thread. It's a really, really good story. So you will see all that in action. There are loads of projects to be achieved. So you're just going to, roll up the sleeves and get busy. And as the past group said, and prepare to get very sweaty. Week 5, you're going to Monteverde, to the cloud forest, Monday to Thursday. That's where you go exploring the cloud forest, lots of trekking, and there are optional extras when you're there to go on the zip wire. I think it's about $60 now. Highly recommend that. Fantastic. So scary, but so worth it. There's a great coffee tour, and there's the hanging bridges. I would do the hanging bridges tour in Monteverde and splash out and treat yourself to a guide, because it's impossible to see anything in that dense jungle, so that will make it all the while. With regard to the community aspect, most of you are double jabbed, and so Chris will discuss this with you. The house is right opposite a wonderful local Costa Rican community who we used to teach the kids swimming and English. Now, because you're all double vaxxed, they will be gaining in confidence and seeing everything kind of less threatening, we might be able to integrate that back. But just take a view and we'll see what happens when you're there. Okay, so that's the itinerary. Now moving on to the boring stuff. Your kit list. Okay. Things to take. Please will you have a look in the MyLeap, and everything on that list is there for a reason, especially things like the recyclable water bottle, a hat, a dry bag, a vest, a what do you call it, for surfing, really UV vest, really important to take everything out that is on that list. And also a lot of the gappers from the last trip, their top tip was, you need nice clothes for the evening. It is a stylish, groovy place. So if you're thinking, do I take this little dress? Do I take this, funky shirt? Yeah, pop it in, because, you will want it. Questions we've had this week. Can you buy everything there if you run out of suntan lotion, shampoo? Yes, of course, you've got everything there. If you run out of medication, take enough medication that you need for the whole trip, plus extras should you decide to stay traveling. But you can get most medicines out there, especially if you know what the generic term is for the meds as opposed to the brand. Money, just to warn you, Costa Rica is the most expensive country in Central America. So brace yourself for that and just be savvy. There are ATMs all over the town, all over the place, so you can easily get the local currency out there. Do not try and get local currency out before you go. Probably worth taking about $100 with you, but that will be fine. Just in cash, just in case, but local currency is good. You can use a Monzo or a Revolut card. Sorry, were people saying there was a problem with a Monzo?
No, Monzo and Revolut are okay.
Yeah, no, Monzo and Revolut are fine. I think there was a problem beforehand. So with one of them, but just if you're taking them, also take a debit card as a backup. Health. Ta-da! Good old COVID. Now, what we want everybody to do is, we've asked everyone to be double vaxxed. I know some of you can't quite achieve that. Don't worry, it doesn't hinder anything. It doesn't stop you from doing anything. It is just a kind of, the main reason for doing it is it makes travel between countries coming back slightly easier. But don't worry, it is not a deal breaker. With COVID too, a lot of people are asking, we don't need tests to enter Costa Rica. Correct, you don't, or to transit through France. That is correct. But we would really like everybody to be super responsible to themselves and to the team and to the camp staff and do an antigen test on the Thursday and Friday. You've all got those tests at home. Please, could you do it? And just make sure on the Thursday and Friday you get 2 clear tests. We're not going to ask you to kind of prove it. We're just asking you to be, responsible human beings. And if it comes up positive, or any member of your family, you know the drill, just to call us. Because it's so easy to change a flight nowadays, and we can sort it out, and you can go 1 day, 2 days, 3 days later and join the team. So do not panic if that happens to you, but please do not travel if you get a positive and you think you're going to risk it. That's just unfair on everybody else. How we manage the COVID out in country, we're not going around testing everybody and looking out for it, because what we are doing now is, if people are ill and they have a cough or a cold or just feel slightly under weather, is to talk to a member of staff immediately. Do not just sit on that information. You're not going to be penalised. You're not going to be taken off into a deep darkened cell for 10 days. That is not going to happen. But what we will do is just move you as a precautionary process to your own room. And then we can take a view, see how you are in 24 hours, talk to the doctor. Because we had this going on in the last trip, in the fusion team that were there. And there is a bug going around Costa Rica at the moment, because it's the beginning of the kind of rainy season, so the temperatures are all changing, and it is just people just feeling a bit achy and a bit grim, but it's just a flu-y bug. It is not COVID. We had everyone tested and everyone was clear. So we've just got to take a view with what it is, and the doctor is on call with Chris and his team 24 hours 7 to guide us through the decision making. Dehydration, that is actually one of the most worrying things that one of the things we worry about most. And this is really, really important, especially in week 1. It is very, very humid there. And a lot of you, especially coming from the UK, Christ, you haven't seen sunshine in about a year. So, you know, you've got to drink lots of water, but it's more than the water. It's replacing the salts and the sugars. And if you don't, you very, very quickly fall into that achy body feeling like you've got the flu, the headaches, and it's, then everyone starts kind of thinking, oh my God, is it COVID? Oh my God, is it the flu? And it's probably, no, it's not. It's just you've got a bit of dehydration. Cuts too need to be jumped on immediately. The simple cut can get very, very infected very, very quickly out there in that humid environment. So please be mindful. Now onto the behaviour. Okay, everyone is so good and everyone is so, excited, and we want everyone to have an absolute ball. But there are certain places in Santa Teresa where we really don't want you to go. Chris will talk to you about that. We just got some incidents there. It's just a particular nightclub. It's really got unsavory people and we really want you to avoid it. So please listen to what they say, where you can go and where you can't. At the moment there is a curfew from 10 till 9 in the morning, and you have to be back in camp. But again, that is very, very flexible, especially in the kind of the beach resorts such as Santa Teresa. So listen to what Chris and his team tell you on day 1, and please be guided by them, and please don't just respect everything they say. Anybody that's caught doing drugs will be asked to leave the trip immediately, and that will be it. So please also take that into consideration. Now, weird and wonderful questions. Washing, where are you going to do all your washing? There is washing facilities in camp and there's washing facilities in town. And they usually charge about $10 for a huge bundle, so that's easy. All the washing powder and everything is there. What you might want to take is some of that hand wash stuff, which you just squeeze into a sink, or just kind of wash your underwear in the shower, and there's lines everywhere for it to dry. Post, telling you now, do not post anything. If you've forgotten it, get it out there. Nothing ever arrives, and if it does, it gets enormous VAT bill slapped onto it, so it's just not cost effective. Wi-Fi, loads of Wi-Fi in camps, in Rose of America, in camp, in all the hostels and the cafes. It's Wi-Fi'd up. The country is good to go. Apart from when you're in Serenas, the Wi-Fi, you might get a signal, but literally you have to kind of trek into the middle of the jungle to get it. So, when you're in Serenas, in, week 3, parents expect no comms from there. If there are any problems, if you are kind of feeling out of sorts, you've got to go, first of all, to the team on the ground. They are there, they're so approachable, they're so kind. There's no point in calling home, telling you feeling ill, for them to call me, for them to call Chris and the team. No point. Please just go straight to the staff and tell them what's up. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick look at my notes to check I have gone through everything. Your 2 leaders are Diego and Angelo. Angelo is Venezuelan, but he's lived with Chris for years, and Diego is Peggy, who's our favourite Spanish teacher's son, who everybody absolutely loves. So you've got 2 of the best. They then have their support staff, and you've got, Chris and his wife and the whole lot, racing around. So there's masses of adults, kind, approachable adults for everybody to facilitate you having a really, really good time. Okay, hold on. Flights, antigen test. Oh God, how could I forget the admin? Oh my God, the INS. Hopefully you've all got your INS. I know there's a bit of confusion because the Costa Ricans say you don't need the INS, but if you read the small print, you still do, because your insurance policy needs to have a clause in it that covers you should you get COVID and you have to stay in the country long enough, then that covers you. So it's still a bit of a con. The INS is utterly useless. You won't claim on it. But if you get somebody who's really tricky and difficult at the airport at customs, they could just make your life hell, and they have in the past. So it's just good to get it. Battleface for the UK is fantastic. And what's the one in iNext for you in the States? You need to talk to iNext. I know there's a bit of confusion with that we were going to do it for you, but it's so complicated acting as a middleman. It's best that you do it direct, because you can talk to them talk to them about what your own medical health insurance is, and they often just supplement it. The last bit of admin is your QR code, which you're going to do on the Thursday before you fly, okay? On the 2nd. Don't try and do it on the Wednesday, it won't work. And I will send you that. I will send you the link for that and the telephone number for Chris or whoever is going to pick you up from the airport. Other than that, you are good to go. You know we're all here to answer any questions, to get you organised, and you will have a fantastic time. How you get home back to the UK from the red list, you're not going to worry about that. We will start discussing that week 4, week 5, when you've all bedded in, you know what you kind of want to do. Chris is currently in Guatemala doing amazing things, has got so many ideas for you. We'll see what the red list is looking like closer to the time. Other than that, have a fab time. Bye.